Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I think we've been actually absent for quite a couple of days in the past. Just basically took a slight break of actually making content, but we'll be actually back with more videos actually in the next couple of days, which will be actually quite cool. So I think there's a lot of stuff we can actually look forward to, like both in terms of what we actually add onto the website and also onto the channel here. So actually looking really forward to it. But to mention this, one thing we wanted to discuss today was basically the topic of music or how it's used currently and if it's actually better to go without music and at what kind of stage it's actually getting more relevant to actually ditch it, right? So I think um, just to start off with this, I think this is something that actually isn't often talked about as to what effects music has on the performance, both on the performance and also on the actual desire to go to the gym, because it's just something people do that makes them feel good, but there hasn't been actually that much research done into what it actually does. Now, I think that I would actually estimate that majority of the people who actually have exercised have used, or if not all of them, have actually used music to prop up their workout or their desire to go to the gym at some point. Like I've done that probably really like almost as cult like each day for maybe like 2 or 3 years really recently, and I would say that I basically never questioned what it actually does or why do you actually want to do it and what kind of effects it actually has. So I think that there's actually three things to point out here, so we'll go just one by one. I actually want to point out one study which basically said that basically dates back to around 2014 and it was actually released. So maybe in the early decades of this kind of thousands. And they actually said that I've actually read out here is that 2/3, so more than 60% of the people who didn't bring their headphones to the gym actually cut their workouts in time or even didn't even come to the gym. So just based on this, and there's been actually numerous studies that I've actually had seen, is that it actually does have quite a huge effect on even the desire to actually come to the gym. So there definitely must be something going on as to how can actually impact even like the basic function to actually walk to somewhere or even to desire to improve or even exercise the body at some point. And another thing that will be quite good to point out is that it's actually quite a good tool for especially beginners to actually come to the gym, which is actually main reason why a lot of gyms around pretty much everywhere use music. Sometimes not the one you want, but pretty much all of them, or at least we can say majority of them, do use music as a way to basically bring the people in as well. Since it has basically two effects, as we've already discussed, is that people want to come to the gym more, and also the workouts basically get better as well. So one of the main things that this actually like music just to start it off was actually used for a really long time, like before any gyms, like for thousands of years, for hundreds of thousands of years before, basically to make us more synchronized, so to say. So basically, if you hear like some tunes that don't really match up, you don't really like it. But when you actually hear music that does match perfectly, let's say, like that's the one that actually drives you to action or to actually enjoy it, let's say. So I would say that the reason why it actually does work quite well is that it actually releases dopamine in your brain, and this actually isn't a so-called pleasure hormone, but it's actually a hormone that basically motivates you to do more. It's let's say it's a motivation hormone. It basically pushes you towards an action to do something. So actually, when you hear the music, you basically associate when you hear the music in the gym, you associate the music with the gym, and then you want to come back more and more for it because music makes you, let's say, synchronize more. So it really prompts you up. So I think this is a really good tool to use because it basically impacts directly your brain, which is and your nervous system, which is basically, I'll actually say around 90% of what actually happens in your body and what drives your behavior actually. You can quite easily use this tool, especially as a beginner, to basically not skip the gym because you basically want to go there with this tool of music as well. So I think there is also a second part that should be discussed, and that is that the reason when we've even discussed that people who forgot their headphones coming into the gym is that they actually didn't even go there, or many of them cut their workout short, is that when you are disappointed, for example, you realize that you forgot your headphones, you will be disappointed in the way that your dopamine drops, like quite massively. And what this does is that you basically are motivated to continue with the activity that you actually were about to do. So it basically pushes you to just go back. This is also one of the reasons why music, I would say, is actually not problematic, but dangerous, so to speak, and will need to be regulated slightly, because if you rely only on music to actually go to the gym, especially in the later parts, then I would say it can be more likely that you actually quit at some point, even into the future, even though with all the things we said that the music makes you go to the gym. But basically, it's really not the best way to be so tied to actually listening to music in the gym. And there is, I would say, actually a better way to do that, because it can be quite, I would say, actually dangerous to basically keep coming to the gym only with the idea that I'm going to listen to the music. Of course, this isn't conscious that much. It's more of, I would say, actually subconscious thing. But this is also why I would say it's kind of more on the dangerous side, especially in the long term. Now, one of the things that I actually want to point out is that there's actually two things that relate to this, and one is that it isn't just the synchronization which we talked about that actually makes you release dopamine, but also with the kind of pain threshold and the way the music actually works in the gym. So the reason why I even relate this to pain threshold is that music also works in a way that you are more distracted from your workouts, and you are able to not realize that much that you have that much pain in you, in the actual muscle that you've exercised, and you are able to shift that focus away from that into the music itself. The reason why this even works, or how does it work, is that basically you are able to shift focus in terms of the brain cells that you actually have into the actual music that is, well, usually like quite loud because we listen to it exactly to our ears. If the music is the one that we use from the gym, which is, let's say, in some kind of phones quite far away, we feel the pain a lot more. That you've even yourself could experience that. But if you actually keep listening to it like quite loudly, you are then able to not notice the pain, and you are able to push even further. This is also why when actually listening to really good music that is both synchronized and loud, like not too loud, but let's say it's one that is actually in your ears, you're actually able to basically have some of the best workouts you had, because if first your brain really pushes dopamine because it's synchronized with the music as well. Like the best case scenario is that you synchronize your reps and sets with the music. That's actually the best case, and you should have probably, or they could have seen it in yourself as well. And then the second thing is that you are basically able to skip this pain threshold more, so you're able to focus on the music itself during the actual workout as well. So I'd actually consider this to be a really effective way to at least stick to the gym from the beginning, to at least when you are not so much tuned into the so-called lifestyle, because I think at some point it will be lifestyle, is that you will be actually able to then down the line be less reliant on music to push you into the gym, but it will be basically just something you do. This is actually something that I've done myself. I would say about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, is I basically started to skip the music, and the reason for that is that it basically also deteriorates your focus, which is what we've talked about. And in order to improve your lifts or the technique that you actually have, I think focus is really important to do that. When you are distracted by the music and distracted by music and you try to improve your lifts, like it doesn't just much add up together, because you're just distracted. I'd say even it would be considered multitasking as well. So I think that overall, um, it's basically a much better tool to use at the start, but then to basically switch over to having no music even during, let's say, more endurance-based exercise. where you basically do more reps and less sets, so to say, or even especially during a really strength-based exercises where you try to max and push up. Because I think with the music on like the first sets you will be able to do more, but in the long run without music you are able to actually improve your technique as well as lifting more. So that actually works out quite a bit better. So the kind of the biggest thing about music is that this is actually a distraction tool, which basically makes you both kind of listen to music and do exercise at the same time more intensively, but you lose that ability to actually focus on the technique in the long run as well, which basically, based on my experience, is that it's really good in the beginning where you are really new to the gym and aren't actually able to keep coming back because it basically allows you to spike dopamine to actually want to come back to the gym. The second thing is that it needs to be regulated, so you don't listen to the gym all the time because it basically loses its effect of only being in the gym. So there's actually one really big importance as well. And then the third thing is that over time, I'm most advised to actually try to at least push off or use less music in the actual gym. Even if I haven't gone to that extreme yet of actually buying uh, some um, some sound blockers because a lot of gyms actually do have music in them. But since a lot of times I will have my own workouts at home with kind of the own set, it really isn't an issue, and really the technique does improve quite a bit more than let's say exercising for a couple of years before. So I think that will be kind of the main thing is that it's quite a bit of a distraction tool that's good to spike dopamine when you want to do something. So, for example, if you really don't want to go to the gym, you can actually use that as a way to go there. So, obviously, you won't just listen to music already when you are going there, but starting to do that already with the exercises. So, you basically tie up those circuits as well in the brain to basically match the start of the exercise and also the music that you basically listen to. So, this will be the main idea. We'll definitely have more videos coming into the next weeks as well around basically more topics around gym, but also improvements around that. So hopefully that will be actually quite a bit helpful. So thank you.